Let's say each and every one of you in this classroom has a 3-year-old brother, sister, nephew that's dying of a disease, has a certain amount of time to live. How many of you will be hurt by that, by show of hands? Now let's say that same doctor who diagnosed this 3-year-old with this disease tells you that you have the means to put a stop to it, to change that. How many of you would act on that by a show of hands? Well, the disease that this 3-year-old is dying from is the second leading cause of death in America. Something that's taken over, and we as Americans have the means to put a stop to this epidemic. Notice I say epidemic. Globesity has been coined a new word to reflect the escalating global obesity rate. According to WHO, which is the World Health Organization, who wrote a report, Obesity, Preventing and Managing this Global Epidemic. They said this can result in an array of serious weight-related disorders. For the first time, the number of overweight rivals that of the number of underweight. In 1999, the United Nations surveyed, and all developing nations, even those beset by hunger, are suffering from this global epidemic known as obesity. Obesity is the most common chronic disease in the U.S., affecting more than 1 in 4, and has been increasing for the past 20 years. 58 million are overweight, 40 million are obese, 3 million morbidly obese, 8 in 10 over the age of 25 are overweight, 78% are not meeting the activity level recommended by doctors, 25% are sedentary, which means they're bedridden, 76% increased type 2 diabetes in adults ages 30 to 40 since 98. Obesity-related diseases, 80% type 2 diabetes, 70% cardiovascular disease, 42% breast and colon cancer, 30% gallbladder surgery, and 26% high blood pressure. Children, 4% to 16% jump in a matter of 12 years. 25% white, 35% black and Hispanics in 2001. Hospital costs, $35 to $127 million in 20 years. That's between 79 and 99. 1 in 4 showing signs of type 2 diabetes, 60% risk for heart disease. In 1990, it was 4% type 2 diabetes. Since then, it has escalated to approximately 20%. The death rate, 300,000 die in a year, 25,000 die in a month, 5,769 in a week, 829 in a day, and 34 in an hour. So 34 people can be dying within an hour of this class period. Obese individuals have a 50 to 100% increased risk of death from that of an overweight person compared to that of an overweight person. I'll conclude with this. I don't know if anybody knows about the story of David and Goliath, but the story of David and Goliath, there's an army, and Goliath is a giant who is coming to face this army. And David's father is a part of this army. And David goes out as Goliath is challenging the men of this army. And the other men aren't stepping up because they're afraid of Goliath because he's a giant. So David, bringing a message to his father, overhears this man, this giant, talking to the rest of the army, saying no one will step out in battle and no one can defeat him. So David, a little boy, not even a part of an army yet, had the courage to step up to this giant with a slingshot and kill the giant. So we as Americans have to have the confidence to step out and be the David of our generation and slay this Goliath known as obesity.